Welcome to Money Hacks, where we offer tips for the newcomer to the financial investment scene. Hello, I'm Ernest Lewis and my co-host is Chris Lim, digital editor of the Business Times. With us is Mr. David Gerald, founder, president and CEO of Securities Investors Association, Singapore. Sias, as it's known for short, champions investor rights, promotes corporate governance and educates investors at all levels to make them smart investors. Since 1999, 162,000 Singaporeans have been educated by Sias in investments through 1,225 programs. Hi, David.
Yes, hello.
How has public awareness changed in Singapore since 1999?
Well, tremendously. In 1999, I had a very strong feel of the knowledge level of people then attending the Klopp Saga town hall meetings. They didn't have a clue about investments, including myself. So I went north, south, east, west of Singapore, and when I spoke to citizens who were involved in that, debacle, I came to the firm conclusion: Sias will have to continue beyond that Klopp fight to educate Singaporeans to learn how to do financial planning firstly, and secondly, how to grow their money through investing. So we needed to rally around us experts in financial planning, experts in investments, and bring them together to impart knowledge and expertise to citizens. And citizens came in by big numbers. I mean, there was an incident where 1,500 turned up for, just 800 seats. Why? They suddenly found they got something tangible, something very useful for them to apply in their financial planning and investment journey towards a happier retirement. So because people want to make money quickly, so young people are in a hurry today. So we have so far done about 1,225 programs and covered 162,000 citizens. We are nowhere where we want to be. All right,
Okay.
We have a long journey, and this is going to be an arduous process. Getting people to understand that they must invest with knowledge.
Right.
Without knowledge is a gamble. All right, but the temptation to get into the stock market without knowledge is really, really great, because people want to get money quickly. So the message is sinking in slowly. I think our leaders have done a good job by educating on how CPF money should be used. And secondly, that education is important. So that is together with NGOs like us, charities, reaching out to many people. Last year we did 97 investor education programs alone. My staff hardly rested. But we do this because many of them are not really building a portfolio for long term, all right, or putting all their money in all their eggs in one basket, all right. So slowly we are finding when we started, people above 50, above 45, 50 came in droves. Today, I'm happy to say we've got a lot of young people. We have a youth chapter, Sias youth chapter, where young people in schools, universities join us. And most of the investment clubs in the universities work with us. And we have been concentrating for the last 7-8 years on young people. And now it's paying dividends. For the investment week this year, that's a week that we concentrate on providing meaningful investor education programs for citizens. It's free, all right? Sponsored by various organizations, but it is free. And we found for the first time, already before registration has been announced, before the program has been announced to the public at large, 200 young investors have already registered.
And there's an event coming up on the 19th of May at the HDB Hub Auditorium. Yes. That's the next event after this episode is out.
Yes.
David, say I'm a young adult.
Yes.
And I just got my first job this year at the age of 25. You've already explained about Investment Week and theme of Investment Week.
Yes.
But that's interesting. are these investment clubs at the university? Say I'm even younger, at the age of 18 or something,
Sure.
17. What are these investment clubs that I can get started out besides attending some of the Sias events?
If you're not in the universities, therefore you can't be in the investment clubs there, but you can be in the Sias youth chapter.
Okay.
All right, this youth chapter is for polytechnic students, for university students, and as you said, for school leavers, and those who are in junior colleges, A levels or O levels, they can join. It's never too early to learn, and it's younger they start, the better. Any investor class that you join today is about how to prepare for a better retirement.
Okay.
All right. You cannot keep your money in the bank and hope that you will retire well, because your money doesn't grow. Unfortunately, inflation wipes out the interest earnings. It's so meager. So you need to invest, and you must invest. If not, it will be a sorry state of affairs for you. So we tell the young people, start early, even before marriage. Once you have a wife and children, you have burdens. You have liabilities.
Interesting you should say that, David.
Yeah.
Say I'm different from
Yes.
Ernest's character. I'm a young working adult, married with 2 kids, and I'm in my mid-30s. Sias has this next event on May 25th called Financial Literacy and Family Budgeting at the STI Auditorium.
Yes.
How can something like that help someone like me? I'm not quite as impatient as someone in my 20s, but I feel
Sure.
the pressure
Yes.
to provide for my family.
Yes, many young people do not embark on systematic saving. That's the first point. Many young people, we also found out, rarely do budgeting. They get into debts. They carry credit cards and they spend. And they do not limit and put a cap on their spending, ability. So we got to look at their ability to earn and their propensity to spend money on expenses. So if they do not do budgeting, they will not have the realization that they are actually spending too much. So we're going to bring an awareness, the need to budget, the need to invest carefully, long term, and get the right principles, imbibe with the right principles of investing, value investing, long term. Stay put. Do not be in a hurry. Don't be greedy. Do not worry about Jack or John. Go on your own on very strong principles.
You mentioned you have to invest. You can't just put your money in the bank and just hope for the best. But you need to be educated. So you
Sure.
said that you can't go in blind.
Yes.
But that education process takes time, takes
Yes.
commitment. How do you balance that need to quickly start, as you mentioned, start as early as you can,
Yes.
versus spending the time to understand the market?
Yeah, it takes time to learn and understand, but not very long. But there must be the willingness to search for what I want and get what I want. And we put out on our website all the programs for different age groups. And we have got an investment chapter, which is like an investment club. And they should register with us, and we will hold their hand.
Well, thanks, David, for being on the show. You can find out about Sias and its work in investor education by going to the website sias.org.sg. Do check out our other podcasts on various topics on the Straits Times and the Business Times.
Thank you, Ernest and Chris.
Now, to you, our listener, we'd like to invite you to pose your own questions or scenarios to Money Hacks at podcast@sph.com.sg. That brings us to the end of this episode of Money Hacks, where we help you make sense of trends and your finances. Do note that any financial or investment information in this podcast is for use in Singapore only and is intended to be for your general information. Any particular investment or decision should only be made after consulting with a fully qualified financial advisor.